final round of the 2018 FIM Sidecar World Championship comes from Oschersleben in Germany. The seventh different venue of the campaign for the last of 11 races to decide the title. And just 1 point separates the top two teams ahead of this decider. With only 3 title contenders remaining, it's a straight shootout for gold medal glory over 21 laps in Oschersleben. The trio of teams hopeful for 2018 all have that winning touch, with at least 2 victories apiece in what's been a gruelling race of attrition so far. And the 2018 FIM Sidecar World Championship gets underway. Through go Ben and Tom Birchall for seconds. And Jussi Verovainen, a new passenger for 2018, takes a podium on his debut. Whoa, and out goes Stroyer and Russo, a frightening crash. It's going to be a close finish, but for the second time in 3 seasons, Reeves and Wilkes win in Le Mans.
After testing quite a bit, we was quite happy and confident in the machinery, and the chassis felt really good, the engine power was good, so no, we were looking forward to coming back to Le Mans, and and it turned out good for us. We had a win first time back, and it was a real good close race.
It was quite nice. We had only had 1 practice in Finland before Le Mans, so practice and qualifying was very difficult for me. But we made it onto the podium and in my first race at Le Mans, so I was happy with that.
Good solid start. I mean, not really the start we wanted. Obviously we wanted to try and start on a win, but it made us realise that last year we had it our own way, and we had some good competition for the season, which is good. It's what we wanted, and Tim and Mark were going good, so we knew then we had a good fight for the year.
And through come Pivarinta and Verovainen to lead. The Birchalls have given a good old hit there to Grabmüller, and that's going to leave them with some damage. Pivarinta and Verovainen cut through on the inside and slam into the side of Reeves and Wilkes. Reeves and Wilkes have really dragged that outfit to the line, a damage limitation ride from them. We were very pleased with first place. We weren't expecting to win at Slovakia Ring, particularly with Jussi being new and me still getting used to having someone different alongside me. Battling with Tim Reeves for me was just normal racing. He was a little bit slower in the corner, we were a bit faster and made some contact. Normal racing.
Unfortunately, it put a bit of damage on our sidecar wheel arch, and we were a bit fortunate because John Holden had a bit of a moment, but he took Benny Stroyer with him, so we ended up really limping round to second place, which helped us really because, I think if they'd carried on, we'd have probably ended up 4th or 5th. So, we were unlucky in some ways and lucky in another. So, it was all right.
Slovakia was difficult in a lot of ways. It was the start of a problem or a series of problems that we began to encounter through the next few races, and not scoring the points was bad for us, for our championship. But when we look back now, it's good that I did get some points. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in the position we're in now.
The first wet race of 2018, and that should make things very interesting indeed here in the Sachsenring. Forward win for Reeves and Wilkes, a brilliant start to their comeback campaign. It's Ben and Tom Birchall who have the slipstream, ducking out of it to the inside line and storming through to Leeds. A tough start to 2018, but Ben and Tom Birchall finally have their first victory of the campaign.
The team needed a win. It's a track that we've had great success at, and it was also the start of when we began to find out the issue that we'd got, and we hoped that then it would hold off until Pannonia Ring, because we weren't able to get back to the UK to make some changes that we needed to do, but unfortunately it didn't, and at that point I thought the championship was gone.
The Sachsenring was all right for us, but the FIM conducts annual fuel samples and we were found to have an irregularity. It was just a misunderstanding about our fuel, but the disqualification cost us a lot of points, and if we hadn't lost those, we would be in a very different position in the championship now. Yet more disappointment for Ben and Tom Birchall. Their hopes up in smoke as they return to the pits. Pivarinta and Verovainen are through, and it's the Flying Finns who lead at the Pannonia Ring. Reeves and Wilkes make a dive down the inside, and they've lost it big time into the gravel at turn 10. 10th place for Reeves and Wilkes, a late recovery for a few consolation points. Pannonia Ring was a good weekend for us. We had a clean overtake on Reeves, everything worked very well, we had a good tyre compound, and now we just hope for another of those weekends.
Yeah, you know, it's just my own fault. It's the first time I've made a mistake like that for a long time, and yeah, just went in too hot. Pekka came by, ruffled me a bit maybe, and maybe I should have just settled down, and I just tried maybe a little too soon and went to dive under him, but unfortunately the gap closed and it was too early in the race to make any contact, so we just I had to apply the brakes a bit harder, and unfortunately it spun and we ended up backwards in the gravel, and me and Mark had to dig it out ourselves. But yeah, we got going again, and we were last, but we fought to the end, and we got back to 10th and got 6 points that, you know, that could be quite valuable.
Big news during the summer break. Päivärinta and Verovainen disqualified from the Sachsenring. They lose 36 points and surely their hopes of a title. Benetton Birchall recovering all the way around the outside. The leaders touch and the Birchalls are off. They're slowing, the race leaders are slowing. Benetton Birchall are in trouble here. Reeves and Wilkes, just when the race looked to have settled down, have been gifted the lead.
It was just a very small part, which I'll say it was definitely my fault for not realising it and seeing it. It was just a real small piece of wiring that needed to be changed, and it was fine all through the weekend, and then when it came to the race, it started to give a problem. But again, we carried on and salvaged some points, which it's been a real lesson maybe for us for the future, that you should never give up, and that's sort of our motto that we try and carry forward.
Smoke from Reeves and Wilkes' machine, and that's the engine. The championship leaders are out. Benetton Birchall win, and the championship race is alive again. If Benetton Birchall win here, the championship will go down to the final race of 2018. Problems for Reeves and Wilkes, their outfit damaged, and a second retirement of the weekend.
I can't tell you how good that felt. We worked so hard, and it was driving to Croatia was a long drive and 51 points behind, and we knew it was a mountain to climb. And then after the first race, Tim had some problems, and we took the win, which it looked like we could win anyway, but all of a sudden it was wow. Now, and then the second race we tried to do the same again, and Tim was unfortunate again, and leaving that place was amazing. It was an amazing feeling for us, and we made some celebrations that night.
To be completely honest, in race one we decided that we would just go for the finish, and second place was good enough. We were quite comfortable behind Ben, and we decided that would be it. We'd just try and get the 20 points, and 5 laps in out of the 10 it just exploded, and unfortunately we couldn't find the issue. We didn't really know what had caused the problem, and yeah, we started race 2 and it was looking good, and we were going to push for the win, but we ended up in quite a tight spot with Ben in the first corner and through the gravel trap, and then it just didn't seem to run so good from when we regained our composure and got back going again, and it just went downhill from there, and it got slower until the end. That one blew up as well. And
the motorsport arena Oschersleben has been a regular FIM Sidecar World Championship venue since 2011, when Pekka Päivärinta did the double and claimed his 3rd world title. The circuit then hosted the season finale in 2015, with Benny Stroyer becoming a first-time champion. For 2018, FIM Sidecars drop out of Oschersleben Speedway to reclaim this prestigious position in the calendar as final round hosts. The lead 9 outfits in the World Championship standings all lined up for the season finale, with the addition of wild cards Palm and Mayers to complete a 10-team field. After a double retirement in Rijeka, a decision to sit out the late season visit to Oschersleben for Blackstock and Rosny left them consigned to 10th in the series standings, whilst also confirming at least 9th position for Grabmuller and Lavarel overall. The number 97 has had an underwhelming 2018 campaign, failing to repeat their best of the rest world number 5 exploits from last year, but did still have a chance of finishing the season as high as 7th. Wissen and Hoffer arrived in Oschersleben 4 points clear of the Delta Racing team as a result of their disqualification from the Sachsenring earlier in the season. But the Swiss duo had their eyes fixed firmly forwards, with Kimswenger and Lernertz in sight.
We're not happy with this season, really. 4 races without points is very disappointing for us.
But we have to be satisfied with some of our results and successes. And I think we can do enough today to secure 7th in the championship. We've been happy with the season, but it has been a hard one. We would be happy to hold on to 7th position in the World Championship, but we'll have to see if any of the other teams manage to beat us. With only 10 outfits on the grid, the number 11 were likely to be in close contact with their direct rivals, and with only a single point separating the two teams after they finished just 2 places apart in Croatia, it was all to play for again between them in Germany. Barring miracles, meanwhile, 4 of the top 6 positions looked broadly settled, even with a race to spare. Remsen Weschelberger sat an isolated 6th, 21 points clear of the 7th place battle behind, but 16 points back from Sam and Adam Christie in 5th. The British duo, in turn, arrived in Oschersleben a near unassailable 24 points behind Streuer and Rousseau, who've had a quiet 2018 season. The number 4 outfit has, at least, shown signs of pace in recent rounds, with 3 podium finishes in 4 races. Whatever the result of the campaign's final race, championship medal positions were beyond their grasp. Of the remaining title contenders, Pijverinter and Veravainen appeared most relaxed in the build-up to the decider. Little to lose for the Finns from 16 points back. The momentum, thanks to a 50-point swing in Rijeka, was on Benetton Birchel's side. The 2 lead teams, with just a point between them after 10 completed races, were both feeling the tension of a special occasion, an incredible fight for gold.
To get the win in the championship would be amazing, and to do that we've got to try and win this weekend, which is why we're here. I think there's as much pressure on both of us at this point. There's nothing in it, you know, and certainly didn't expect to be here. So it's great that we've got a second chance to fight for it, and that's what we intend to do.
No, it seems that reliability problems have all gone now, and I think it's just going to be a hard fight to the end. It's 21 laps, it's a long race, and there's obviously not much between us. So I want to win as much as he does. So we'll have to just see what happens. I think it'll be good.
Having conceded 69 points in 3 races following their early season flourish, Reeves and Wilkes could already see the title slipping through their fingers. And having needed just 2 7th place finishes from 3 races to be crowned champions, they now needed to beat their toughest rivals in pure pace over a high stakes 1-race duel. The 3 championship medal positions then were up for grabs between 3 contenders separated by 16 points, with 4th, 5th and 6th seemingly settled. A 3-way fight for 7th overall would provide the remaining interest at the final round. 0.7 of a second faster than their nearest rivals in qualifying, Benetton Birchel took the latest step in their comeback challenge for a 3rd world title with a 6th pole position finish in 7 2018 rounds. Reeves and Wilkes are the only other outfit to have completed a full set of appearances on the front row this season, and they lined up directly behind the Birchels in 2nd for the 5th time this campaign. Meanwhile, the other championship contenders, Pijverinter and Veravainen, were dealt a blow as they were relegated to the 2nd row of the grid by Streuer and Rousseau. The Franco-Dutch duo finished just over a 10th of a second faster than the Finns on single-lap pace, but crucially left the well-known fast starters unable to challenge for an inside pass on their main rivals into turn 1. Grabmuller and Lavarelle recorded their best qualifying return of the season, missing out on a place on row 2 by just a 10th of a second.
One more to go.
The smallest entry of the season as a result of injury and mechanical attrition, leading to significant disparities in pace even within the same row of the grid. Pijverinter and Veravainen, for example, finished over a second faster than Wissen and Hoffer, who lined up alongside them on row 2. A strong run down to the first turn from Remsen Weschelberger provided the only change of positions from the grid in the early stages. Number 55 outfit claiming the inside advantage over Sam and Adam Christie into turn 1 for 7th as the rest of the field settled down. Benetton Birchel had successfully converted pole into the whole shot for the race lead, while Pijverinter and Veravainen had got away faster than Streuer and Russo, but were held on the outside into the first turn and remained in fourth. With the Finns' pace seemingly restricted, the two race and championship leaders were able to break over 2 seconds clear of the pair duelling over third place in the race at the end of the opening lap. Meanwhile, further back, Remps and Weschelberger were doing a great job of defending 7th position and, having already enjoyed their best qualifying of the season in Oschersleben, were set for another strong race score as well. While Sam and Adam Christie continued to look for a way back past, Kimswenger and Lenert tried to keep back wildcards Parman Mayers for 9th. 0.3 of a second faster on the opening lap and 0.4 of a second faster through lap 2. Ben and Tom Birchall had successfully broken the best part of a second away from Reeves and Wilkes in second position, again demonstrating their outright pace advantage from qualifying. Streuer and Russo were now 3 seconds behind in third, defending against Päivärinta and Veravainen. Meanwhile, Remps and Mulholland's strong opening lap was undone as they slipped to the back of the field, slowly heading towards the pit lane with mechanical problems. Having beaten Päivärinta and Veravainen in the gold races at the Slovakia Ring and in Rijeka, Streuer and Russo will have been optimistic of holding on for a 5th podium of the campaign. But Päivärinta and Veravainen, seeing the lead 2 outfits pull away, could now afford to play the long game, relying on potential retirements for both the championship favourites for an outside shot at the title anyway. Laps 5 and 6 settled down the race and were also the final turning point for the 2018 championship. Päivärinta and Veravainen finally found their way through on Streuer and Russo, snatching a provisional podium position with thirds. Meanwhile, Kimswenger and Lenert remained unable to break away from Parman Mayers in the other close duel of lap 5. Then, the biggest story of the race. The number 77 outfit completed the lap with a raised hand for Mark Wilkes, dropping 3 seconds off their pace just on the run to the line. And as lap 6 continued, they tumbled through the field, losing their top 3 ranking in the first sector, then down to 6th around turn 7, and finally into the pits to retire from the race. Needing to beat Ben and Tom Birchall, or for both of the other title contenders to suffer problems themselves, attempting to get back out onto the track was always likely to be an unnecessary endeavour for Reeves and Wilkes, but it proved a fruitless effort as well, a collapsed wheel bearing retiring them from the race and seemingly from their 2018 championship challenge. Now promoted to second in the race, Päivärinta and Veravainen could still take the title, but only if Ben and Tom Birchall dropped to 7th or lower. Chances of that appeared slim, although the Birchalls have had persistent mechanical problems this season, and there would have been plenty of nerves on the pit wall for the number 16 team. A new personal best lap for Streuer and Russo on lap 6 kept them close to Päivärinta and Veravainen, a sign that the duel between the two outfits might not be over just yet. A more important fight for Päivärinta and Veravainen just to keep clean and out of trouble whilst waiting for a miracle. But Streuer and Russo, with nothing to lose, had already proven themselves evenly matched with the Finns in recent rounds. Equally well matched were the two outfits fighting it out for what was now 4th place. The teams in 8th and 9th in the championship. Granmøller and Lavarel, in what's rumoured to be their final World Championship campaign as a permanent team, were stalking Witten and Hoffer, needing to pass them to have a hope of claiming 7th in the series. Sam and Adam Christie, meanwhile, continued a lonely race to the flag for 6th, over 2 seconds a lap off the pace of the outfits in 4th and 5th, but also more than a second per lap faster than the fight for 7th behind them. 5th overall in their debut World Championship season, an outstanding effort from the British CES powerbiking duo. Half a second faster than Kimswenger and Lenert through the final sector of lap 9, Parman Mayers tagged onto the back of them down the start-finish straight to challenge, but with the number 11 defending early to the inside, it was the Austrians who held on and the Estonian wildcards who remained in 8th. Meanwhile, Remps and Weschelberger had returned to the track after resolving a problem with a jammed throttle in 9th and 3 laps down, but good enough to complete their unbroken run of 11 points finishes for 2018. Witten and Hoffer also achieved their late season objective, holding off Granmøller and Lavarel to repeat their best 2018 finish of 4th, and with Kimswenger and Lenert down in 7th, the Swiss duo secured 7th in the championship. Slipping back from Päivärinta and Verovainen from lap 10 onwards, Stroyer and Russo were consigned to third, but a fourth podium finish in the final 5 races of the campaign was a satisfactory conclusion and will give them hope ahead of their 2019 return. Päivärinta and Verovainen continue to lose ground to Benetton Birchall in the battle for race victory, but realistically, the Finns could only wait on their own reliability and a late mechanical failure for Benetton Birchall to change the destination of the title. No mistakes or problems for the Birchall Racing Yamaha were forthcoming though, and they cruised to a 4th race win of the season, their 3rd in succession to snatch 2018 World Championship victory from the jaws of defeat. From 51 points down leaving Assen, Benetton Birchall's maximum 75 points were enough to seal the crown when Reeves and Wilkes closed the campaign with 3 retirements. An unprecedented recovery for Benetton Birchall, whose 2018 success gives them back-to-back titles and a 3rd world crown. A challenging season for the reigning world champions, and after Reeves and Wilkes dropped just 10 points from the first 6 races, they could hardly have expected this outcome. This season has been a question of endurance and stamina. The Birchalls got things right just in time to seal the 2018 World Championship.
Wilburn started to collapse. I come down straight there behind you. I went to jump on brakes and then he hit the arse. Yeah, not the pedal head. And then I got the pedal back.
Sizable gaps between the majority of the 8 finishers at Oschersleben in the end. The exception, the battle for 4th, where more than half a second never separated Whiston and Hoffer from Grabmüller and Lavarelle. Few would have predicted a 20-second winning margin for Benetton Birchall ahead of the race. The retirement of Reeves and Wilkes makes for a comfortable victory in the end. The day's podium reflects the championship podium, barring 3rd place finishers Stroyer and Russo. It was a very long race. A shame that the big fight between Birchall and Reeves stopped after just a few laps. We tried to keep up with Pekka, but he was a bit too fast for us. Then something hit my foot coming down the straight and changing gears became really difficult, but this result is good. Gold medal would have been better, but silver is okay. With a new passenger as well, I'm happy. It's been difficult because Birchall and Reeves have been very fast. We've pushed all the time and they never made it easy for us. So this result is okay.
I can't say enough about how happy we are, to be here, because we didn't think we would be, and it just shows you that the team we have is incredible. We worked hard, we never gave in. Unfortunate for Tim and Mark, to have some bad luck, but we also had some bad luck. And what a great year. It's a great series. The FIM did a fantastic job again, and it's been great to be a part of it, and even better when we come out world champions.
A 3rd consecutive non-scoring round means that Reeves and Wilkes drop 2 positions and lose the silver medal to Päivärinta and Verovainen. Whiston and Hoffer leapfrog Kimswenger and Lenertz in the only other change to the standings on the final day of the series. Good sportsmanship shown by their rivals despite frustration of their late title hopes. But it's all smiles for Benetton Birchall. 2009, 2017 and now 2018 FIM World Sidecar Champions.